keep it as a secret. You guys continue gossiping like that.
So obviously,
but I don't gossip, right? I'm not address whatever situation I find uncomfortable in this house with him.
When you say you guys should continue gossiping like that, I think that's wrong.
It's gossip now. For the person to hear, like I don't know when all this happened. I even know who told you.
You guys, if I tell you that all the shalaying and all the talk that was happening last night was as a result of just one simple conversation that happened between two parties, you're not gonna believe, because it's actually unbelievable. It did not make sense to me. It was just a case of a certain group of people, or some people feeling entitled to information and they were not getting it, and the whole thing now went from being a minor conversation to something really big. So let me just give you guys the details of the conversations that happened yesterday. First of all, it was Doyin and Groovy that were having this conversation in the room, and it was about the situation with Beauty and the events that happened around her disqualification.
The only thing I'm angry about is the fact that she did everything that she did and they didn't now say what she said. And that's what I'm thinking about. But the thing is, because we weren't even on good terms, I couldn't even go and meet her. Like, I actually did not look at her when she was going.
Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please do subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So with the conversation that Doyin and Groovy were having, it was being tagged therapy session by Bella, because that's kind of like what she has been pushing for some time now. This is not the first time she's telling Doyin that Doyin is always having therapy sessions with the people in the house, especially guys. So tonight she was tagging it that. So when Doyin came out, she was not telling her that she was going to have her therapy sessions again. Even Chichi was even making side comments at a point. So she was like, she was going to have her therapy sessions again, and she was not asking her for details of the conversation, and Doyin did not want to give details of that conversation that she had with Groovy. She was just like, giving like surface gist. The scene now went from that to it being like she was gossiping, and then Bella was now trying to prove that she herself doesn't really gossip. Doyin told her that she has actually heard something that Bella has said before about her, but like it's not really a big deal. So Bella cannot really say, that she doesn't exactly gossip.
I've said something that I haven't said to you yet.
Yeah. But I didn't feel it was important to come and talk.
No, do you know what? Yeah, do you know
Well,
what?
who is gossiping? When you say in front of gossip, so who is gossiping in this case? No, I can't say it because it's not true. No, because I promised you that I wouldn't say.
Then this talk now gave birth to a whole new issue, right? Bella was now saying that with Sheggz, that is not gossip, that for them is a conversation, that she just has conversations with Sheggz because Sheggz is her person in the house. Unfortunately, that statement did not sit well with Sheggz. He was not like, what do you mean by your person in the house? The way he just the way he just flipped, the way he just switched, everything just went from 0 to 100 like real quick.
My boyfriend in this house.
In this house?
No, sorry.
Don't touch me. Clear it up. You're crazy.
What?
No, what he means is that
Why
you're
would you
saying
say
just
it's this
in this
house?
house.
So it's not about this house right now.
I'm your person in general.
You're my person in general.
Yes, don't ever get mixed up.
Wow, I did not see that part coming. I did not expect that switch at all. Moving on, so Bella now started getting furious. She now told Doyin in fact that she should go and gossip the way she has been gossiping since, that she should go and continue her gossip. Then there's a part of the conversation that confused the F out of me, because I don't know how it switched from small gossip to her referring to what happened between Sheggz, Doyin and Bella a few days ago, where Doyin was saying that Sheggz came to check up on her when she was down. She was not saying that she's very smart, that she knows these things. Doyin herself was even shocked, like how did we get here? Like, how did the conversation switch from this to this? Like,
I'm quite smart, so like I might just ignore some certain things. And I actually didn't know about that. Like he went to her at some point when she was down or sad. So I'm bringing up like I'm just like I don't
even understand why we are talking about. Like I was confused for a little bit. I didn't even know we were talking about this one. You coming to check on.
Sometimes people just be having a conversation and you just be a little bit lost. So apparently what Bella was referring to was the fact that the day that they had their banter on the table, where they were asking each other questions, they were attacking Doyin that why she always having therapy sessions with the guys, and Doyin was not explaining to Bella why she would rather have a therapy session with Sheggz than Bella, because she's kind of closer to Sheggz, and then normally if she's down, Sheggz might come and check up on her, so that will give them room to have that kind of conversation. So Doyin was just explaining based off of what Bella asked her. The next thing, Bella is like, so you do this kind of things behind me and you don't tell me, because Doyin made reference to a time where he did it with herself and Sheggz, that Bella and Sheggz now had a conversation about it on the side. So she's thinking that when she was having a conversation with Sheggz, Doyin heard her name.
It's okay for you to tell me that, oh, I'm going to check up on this girl. Like,
I don't need to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody
Like, relationship should be like transparent, right?
Does anybody question you for addressing it?
I'm just trying to tell you that whoever heard whatever the person heard.
No,
That's the thing. Since you don't hit it to her.
So Bella was just making assumptions based on what she thought, what they call it, Doyin had to say. And I'm like, why are you trying to really force this thing out? Like, she has told you that this person said, I should not mention it. I don't want to talk. It's not by force to say something. Why are you pushing it? Why? Then it now got to a point where Bella was now like, would I say indirectly still pushing for her to say something? She was saying that the person, the reason the person doesn't want her to know, that's Bella, the reason the person doesn't want her to know what was said about her is that the person is scared. You know, that kind of reverse psychology. Oh, the person is scared, that's why they don't want me to know. And Doyin is like, there's nothing to be like scared of. Like, even if I tell you, there's nothing that you're going to do about it. There's nothing she can do, but the person is scared.
You can't say anything you want to say because you get the person that said it in trouble. That's of gossip now.
No, the person is not going to get into any trouble because at the end of the day, even if I tell you, there's nothing you can do.
No, there's nothing I can actually do.
Yeah, so there's no trouble.
If I don't want to tell you,
it's not.
The person has to be scared.
There's no reason for anybody to be scared of you, Bella.
If they tell you you're going to be the person not me, because I don't understand what the fear is supposed to be, where the fear is supposed to be coming from. So, they went on break and came back. So, there's a large part of the conversation that we missed. When they came back from the break, the show where Doyin was saying that she's not going to have the conversation with Bella, that let her just go in and sleep. She now told her good night. That's when Bella was now saying that she's stupid. Like, she murmured the whole stupid statement, and Sheggz held her mouth.
I'm not going to have this back and forth with you. You are who you are, and I wish you the best.
Therapy section.
I'm going to bed. Good night, Sheggz. Good night, Bella. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Eventually.
Baby.
Bella, calm down.
I think that she believes that being rude is a flex because, they're always telling her, oh, calm down now, stop, don't do that. I feel like she believes that it's a flex at this point. Then she now brought up a point that she almost always brings up whenever Doyin is in the mix or Doyin is in the equation. She said that she was telling Sheggz why she told him that he should not do that kind of thing, more like going to check up on Doyin without informing her that she should be able to know whatever he's doing with all the other ladies in the house. That he may have been going with clear intentions, but Doyin would have not taken it like that. That the way Doyin was talking about it that night, as if it was a big deal, that is clearly because she likes him, that's Sheggz. That's why she took it as a big deal.
She said it like how many times, and everyone was like really screaming. Addressing me, I told her like, don't be doing things like that. It's not nice. Because in his head, that is nothing bad, but in her head, like she feels like it's a big deal.
It's a big deal to her
because it's a big deal to her because when a girl likes you, anything you do will be a big deal to her.
If I did not watch that conversation, I would have actually felt like, oh, Doyin was really hammering on the Sheggz coming to check up on her. But that's not the way it was. That was not the case. Literally, it was Bella that was pushing, oh, why Sheggz? Why is it that it's Sheggz that you're having this conversation with? I don't like when they always refer back, like whenever there's an issue, they always refer back to Doyin liking Sheggz. Even when Sheggz had an issue with Doyin, he literally insulted her, called her a fool, called her different names, and then the whole thing just ended up in, oh, she likes him, that's why she's coming for him. Meanwhile, it was the one that called her names, right? So I don't think it makes sense. But on the other hand, this is the same thing that Doyin did to Adekunle yesterday. Chichi, Dotun, they were having a conversation about Adekunle, and Doyin was suggesting that maybe Adekunle has an issue with Sheggz because his own situationship did not work out. That's Adekunle's situationship. So, and I said it then that, babe is following these people to talk. These people don't even rate you, and you're like literally on their side trying to push that point. Now, that's come back to you. It's not your turn. They are now tabling your matter from that angle. So yeah, moving on. Apparently during the break, according to what they were saying there, they said that Doyin said that she cannot have an intellectual conversation with Bella, and then Bella called her stupid, silly, and all. So they were just addressing what happened then. And the next thing Bella is like, when you're desperate for a man, you're claiming intellectual, but you're desperate for love.
But I feel like you didn't need to call her silly, stupid. But her too, she shouldn't be saying she can't have intellectual conversation with you. So she sorted that first.
Can't have intellectual. What kind of nonsense talk was that? Intellectual, but you are so desperate for love.
Calm down, it's okay.
This girl, man.
Okay.
She's so desperate.
what does being intellectual have to do with desperation for love? Or like, how is it even related? It was almost like you're literally buttressing her point that this intellectual conversation, you can't have it, because for you to reduce the entire conversation to the fact that she's desperate for love, it means that any conversation that you're having like that with her, it's not going to flow, because she's going to read it the other way and translate it to something else, to the other people. So she literally buttressed her point by referring it to that, or making that kind of reference. Moving on, later on, I don't even know how the conversation switched and turned. The next thing, Sheggz was talking about his genuineness, and even referring to his dad too.
I told her something. I was talking about how, like, I don't want to get into it, but the first time my parents even had any issue on cheating was after like 24-25 years of marriage. And it was so funny because when we saw the messages of my dad and the girl, you can tell that he loves his wife and his children so much. Like
when you're talking about your father's escapade or whatever it is on national TV, why are you telling us this? That's like too much information. First of all, a lot of things have been happening in that house. I'm just going to end this video here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you.